Hello everyone, welcome to our series of the Thoughts on Education. And today we invited our guest, Dr. Bhavin Pandya, who is the Dean at the Faculty of Management, Kadi Sarvavidyalaya. So sir, thank you for accepting this invitation and being the guest of our series Thoughts on Education, sir. So sir, interview start with our first question. You have held key position at Education Institute throughout your professional career. So what are the key factors that keep you connected with the education sector?
See, education has always remained my passion, and being in education gives you a great advantage over other professions in terms that you will always remain young because you are dealing with the young students. And second thing is, in education you will find constant changes and new theory, concepts, practicality, contemporary issues, and many other models comes, and one confront this issue every day with a change in the environment, change in the sector, change in the government policy, and change in the global economical factor. So that keeps you young, that keeps you updated, that keeps you contemporary, that keeps you still relevant. So that was all about my being with education sector. Thank you.
Really great answer, sir. Okay, sir. So my next question is, being the director of the Faculty of Management, Kadi Sarvavidyalaya, what is your philosophy of leadership and how would you describe your leadership style?
See, leadership is all about manifestation by doing. One should not preach the things that what the team member or stakeholder should do. My leadership style I'll describe by always manifest and unveil my qualities in my doing. So that is number one. Second thing is always be with your being. So you manifest yourself the way you are. Third thing is that you take care of all the stakeholders. So here in education fraternity, it matters a lot because we are dealing with the different stakeholders like corporate, which are coming for the placements, government, which gives us benefits and aids at regular interval and point of time. The most important thing, students. Students are at my heart, and probably I give maximum priority to the students over any other stakeholders in education. So these are my pillars, and apart from that, my colleagues and my management, I always appreciate them because they always give me a room to work and execute my idea the way I want. So that is what my leadership style I believe is.
Great, sir. Okay, sir. So my next question is, being the director, how do you strategize about the key programs and plans for the marketing and administration of your institutes?
See, now post-COVID, the situation in the world has changed drastically. We have entered into altogether a new era, which we may call it as transcendence, which is in many terms positive also, because now if you'll see, then one need to adapt the changes in the surroundings. In education, probably I'll put more emphasis on digitization, and due to digitization, number one thing is digital marketing. So education also needs digital marketing, and the online education portals, Facebook campaigns, search engine optimizations, Google AdWords, and there are many other tools which exist in that. So social networking side also play a vital role. So now institute needs to focus on all the digital medium apart from one-to-one contacts and direct marketing. And if an institution is doing good, they need to manifest, they need to expose, they need to invite and attract good prospects, and that should be the strategy of a good institution.
Great, sir. Okay, sir. So my next question is, the education system in India and other foreign countries are structured very differently. So in your experience, what can an inbound the students gain from the studying here from your institute, sir?
See, that is a very good question because I have been to world-class university called University of Alberta, Canada. In 2011, I was there. I studied the structure of world-class universities, and normally I have been to very, very good institutions in India, including all IIMs, IITs, and other places. So, see, in Western world, probably more emphasis is given to the practical projects, assignments, training, and learning by doing. While in India, probably more focus is given to theoretical stuff and routine schedules. We have lengthy syllabus compared to the Western worlds. When you will see in management also, we have 28 to 30 subjects. While if you see the Western world and top B schools, they have hardly 20 to 22 subjects to study. So length of our syllabus is more, and the practical orientation is less. So second thing, we have never focused on the flipped classroom. Now, this would be a great concern Now one need to adapt this concept of flipped classroom, because if you're delivering the session, then sometime it may become monotonous. So you should deliver the session for theory, but most of the time you can also use the digital aids. You can come out with the props, you can use the simulation models, you can play the management games. So nowadays students feel monotonous way if you deliver the plain sessions. So you need to add more component in your pedagogy. And if professors or a faculty at classroom, they'll adopt all these things: digitization, simulation model, playing games, strategies, industry visits, more exposure from industry, inviting many guests in the session, taking a joint session with international professor. These are the several ways where you can remove this monotony for students, and you can actually arouse the interest for the study. Thank you.
Great, sir. Okay, sir. So my next question is, what is the best practices done by the and currently working on by the Kadi Sarvvidyalaya University, sir?
See, as I really want to share this, Kadi Sarvvidyalaya is a university which has been floated by a trust which is 101 year old. We started in 1919, and we have kept the value systems. At Kadi Sarvvidyalaya, you can say it's purely a benevolent organization which think lots about the stakeholders, and students and parents remain at the heart of the institute. All our policies are revolved around student well-being and stakeholder benefit. We are the university which has never kept any management quota seats. We have never charged any capitation fee from our students, maybe of pharmacy, engineering or management program. So this has remained the legacy of Kadi Sarvvidyalaya, where admissions are happening purely on the basis of merit. Second thing, we also give merit and mean scholarship. Third thing, we have adopted also Anganwadis and other small schools also at state capital Gandhinagar, where we spend our resources, we utilize our resources and think for the state where students are really deprived. Further, apart from all this social activity, Kadi Sarvvidyalaya focuses on innovations and entrepreneurships. We have SV Innovation Foundation, which is purely promoting startups and doing a lot in that domain. We have entrepreneurship modules also. We have a tie-up with Wadhwani Foundation for the same. So we run right from certificate programs to a long duration full-time courses of entrepreneurship. So Kadi Sarvvidyalaya focus on 3 modules: Industry Institute Interaction Cell for getting great placements and inviting corporate. Second thing is entrepreneurship, where we focus a lot. We want to create a job giver than the job seeker. And third thing is innovation, where young budding professionals and students, they are coming, joining the hands and develop the great idea for Atmanirbhar Bharat. So this is our initiative for the same.
Great, sir. Really great answer. Okay, sir. So my next question is, what do you think should be the university's top priority over the next 10 years?
Yeah, in next 10 years, probably a decade which will be considered as a decade of transcendence, as I said in my earlier talk, because a lot of transformations are going to come. Number one transformation which I said is due to COVID and various strains which we are identifying across the world. Things will be different. Faceless things will happen. Social distancing would be the phenomena. Safety and masks will be the weapons for security of ones, and this will lead in next 3 to 4 years. So education system as a whole and countries as a whole, they need to change and adopt the new technology. In this, digitization would be number one thing which all university and education system need to consider. Unless and until you go with the digitization, probably you will not be able to reach to the maximum students. Second thing is changing the way education institute are teaching to the students. Now, gone are the days when you run with the same lectures and PPTs and classes are being conducted across the institute. Now, in the new normal, you need to identify the new ways to attack the students. You need to become more creative. The best thing I think which may happen in the future is interdisciplinary research, where universities need to focus. Now, if you are just teaching engineering or if you are just teaching social science, won't make a difference. Now, in next 10 years, university need to come out with the interdisciplinary research where humanities and engineering will go hand on hand. The next 10 years, probably because of artificial intelligence, big data, analytics, blockchain, machine learning, deep learning, and Internet of Things. These are going to change the equations of the world. And in this world, if you are not acquainted with the technology, then probably you are obsolete. So a lot of new things are happening. in the next 10 years at Kadisara Vishyavidhalaya, we are also going to focus on, number one thing is technology, second one is probably humanity and science. We will also focus because at the end of the day we live in a society and society has some expectation. And number three is holistic development of the all stakeholders, not only one community. We are equally concerned with our recruiters also, the way we are concerned about our students and the governments and the society by and large, NGO and other bodies which are working for the social well-beings. So next 10 years would be very critical and crucial, and only those will survive will adopt the technological changes. So that would be the strategy of Kadisara Vishyavidhalaya also.
Really great, sir. Okay, sir. So my next and last question is, any suggestions you would like to give to the current youth and aspiring students?
Yeah, for aspiring student, I want to say that probably go for higher education. If you are a simple graduate, it won't serve the purpose. Develop a super specialty in whichever course you are, whether you are in engineering or management or other sciences also, or humanity, arts, history, or whichever program you are pursuing. Go for the next level. Do the masters. Think more about doing and developing research problems. Go for doctorate or MPhil if you can do it. So education would be the next, probably what we can say, knowledge will be the next factor which will drive the economy. So same way education will play a pivotal role in changing the society. So students should go for more learning. And second thing, perseverance, which is the biggest lacuna of current youth. You keep perseverance, you set your examples, learn by doing the things, try to execute things, adhere with your idea. Never try to give up. It may take a couple of years or 5 years to get the success, but don't leave your idea and explore the things from all the surroundings, and never feel shame in learning from any of the point of contact. So this would be my simple advice to the youth, that believe in yourself and world is open for you.
So really great answers, and this answer will definitely help to the students who take aspiring to admission or who currently studying. And sir, once again, I want to say thank you from my side and from College Dunia for accepting this invitation and being the guest of our series Thoughts on Education.
I congratulate College Dunia for conducting such kind of series which will benefit the student fraternity from different disciplines. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.